Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Books Talks, and this time I'm going to talk to you about what I consider the Bible of photography. Before we begin, as usual, if you like the video, please put a like, subscribe and share with your friends. And if you want to do something a little bit more to support the channel, go check out my website. There's a page where there are all the books I published, and if you look something that inspires you, buy it, and that would be a great way to support this channel. This time books are the Trilogy by Ansel Adams. It's not one book, it's three books, and Ansel Adams is very well known, and he wrote these three books. One is the camera, the negative, and the print. Here you can see the camera and the negative in their English version, and the print is an Italian edition. I don't know where my English edition of the print ended, is somewhere, but originally I read these books in Italian when I started with photography. So Ansel Adams, he probably is one of the greatest photographers, and I discovered Adams when I was probably, in my teens or something like that, and I was looking at an exhibit in Turin, and one was an exhibit with multiple artists, and one of them was Ansel Adams, and I just was in front of a couple of prints and I was thinking, wow, simply wow. It was a power in those prints that was kind of fantastic. And by the way, if you want to enjoy Adams, look for an exhibit. To see the real prints by Adams is totally different than to see them reproduced on books, or worse of all, on the net. So that's essential. And Adams, it's important for photography for two main reasons. One, it was and I will talk about this in another video talking about other books, but he was the one with the Group 60 F64, and that gave the name of art to photography. Until the time, photography was just a reproduction of reality, and art was painting, and photography tried to become art to it was the pictorialism, basically. It was kind of trying to copy the paintings and this kind of things with photography. Adams created with other people in the F64 group, and I will talk about that in another video. They made pure photography be considered as art, and that is one of the most important things. And the other important thing is on a technical point of view. It's Adams is the one that managed to create a science from photography, and to write down what is this trilogy that is all you need to know about photography. It's really fantastic. He developed the zone system, yeah, and that is probably one of the most important things technically in photography. So the books, the camera is the book where he speaks about how the camera works, the different kind of cameras, so view cameras, large format, medium format, 35mm, and so on. And there's a lot of photographic example, and there are a lot of very good suggestions about the camera, very good explanations and very good suggestions, for example, when to use tripods, the movements you can do with your camera, and all these kind of things. So it's really, this book is essential if you want to go into film photography. This is the book that you have to read to decide, oh, I will buy one camera or the other. I mean, this book will explain you exactly what is important in the cameras and lenses. So here you have everything you need to know about cameras and everything you need to know about lenses. So you have all the concept of focal length and all the concept of depth of field and all these kind of things. Essential. The most important of the trilogy is the negative. The negative is the one where Adams explained the idea of the zone system. So the zone system is a way to expose the film, so you will know always. You can pre-visualize the scene and understand how it will be on paper after. So the idea is to measure multiple places in the image and put them in different zones that correspond to different tonalities on the print. And so the negative is exactly that. It explains how to expose, how to use the exposure meter, and it explains how to change the time of the developers to extend or compress the contrast of the film, and in that way be able to include more or less detail in the image and give a different contrast to prepare a perfect negative for the print. So this is essential. Another thing, it will speak about different kind of developers and how to test the film, how to test the couple film and developer, and all these. So if you are in film photography, this is a must. If you never read it, read it. And if you are in digital photography, still it works perfectly. Still is something that you can read, and you can adapt the zone system to the digital camera. It's just you just need to know that the sensor reacts to light a little bit different from the film, but once you know that, you can adapt the zone system and you will never have problem to create a proper exposure. And by the way, it's essential to get into this pre-visualization idea, because what I hate about digital, I see a ton of people click and they check the image, click and they check the image, and you are checking the image on really an ugly LCD with a preview, a JPEG preview of the image and all this kind of thing. So that's not the way. The way is to know your camera, pre-visualize, know exactly what you will get on the file, and from that what you can get in the print. And it is the same process that you have to do with film. With film you are forced to do it because you cannot check at the moment. So if you don't pre-visualize and you don't know all the steps, you will have surprises at a certain point. But if with digital you can do that too, and in my opinion is the best approach to photography. So also if you use digital, the negative can be for you. And the third book of the series is The Print, La Stampa in Italiano, and this is basically how to transfer the negative that you just created to print. So different kind of papers and contrast, and how to do barn and dodges and all these kind of things on the negative, how to frame and expose the prints and so on. So this is another book that also, if you like to do inkjet printing, you can find a lot of useful information here, because it makes you understand what is a good print and what is not. And the same concept can be applied to inkjet printing. So this is all. Ansel Adams Trilogy, really, this is the Bible of photography in my opinion. It's a must read if you never read it, and the 3 best books you can have about photography, especially if you are going to film photography, that's what you want to read. So Ansel Adams, the camera, the negative, and the print. Thanks for watching, and before we end this video, as usual, please, if you want to support the channel, put a like, subscribe and share with your friends. And if you want to go a little further, check out my books. And Lasting Photographs is a very nice novel with good reviews. Photography Dev Manual, all the basics about photography, and it explains also the basics of the zone system. And Inject Fine Art Printing, everything you need to know to print with your Inject printer. This said, thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye.